Hello everyone, this will be a short demo of MindbookLM. The idea is pretty much very simple. As we are constantly moving ahead in our life, we kind of forget some of the small details of our past. Like, can we recall what we were doing exactly 15 days ago? How our day was, what we were thinking, what experiences we had? Chances are that we probably can't. And a lot of people have the habit of taking notes either in apps or in paper just to hold on to these moments. But notes, in a sense, feel static. Like whenever you write a note, later on you have to search for it and read it exactly as you wrote it. So there seems to be no sense of excitement or an interaction with it. Now, what MindbookLM is basically your own personal AI assistant to whom you could share your notes, your thoughts, your ideas, or in general about your day, and then you could revisit these exact moments at any point of time in the future. This is a pretty simple interface of MindbookLM, and the backend is running on at hyper mode. Now, whenever you have to share your thoughts, your notes, or your ideas to MindbookLM, you'll be coming into this inject memory mode, and this is where you will be writing it. Now, I have a couple of notes that I will be sharing with it. The first one is how my Christmas was this year. Right, I do quite remember it very well because this is not so long, but I can't be sure enough that I would be remembering it exactly after, let's say, a couple of years. So this is the first thing I will be sharing with it, and that's it. I want to share next thing as well. This is uh, how my day was today, and the thing is that I can just write down some of the reference that like today, tomorrow, yesterday, and there is a system in the background that it will be handle everything. Uh, I can pass that information as well. And the last thing that I will be passing into it is basically my idea about uh, the plan to join Hypermode Hackathon, Hypermode Knowledge Graph, and AI Hackathon, and the product that I have in mind called MindbookLM. So now that we have shared some of the notes with it, we can go back to chat mode and start chatting with it. I could say something like, "How was my Christmas of 2024?" And this would basically recall me that exact moment. And obviously, this would not make any sense right now because just a couple of minutes ago we passed that information and we are retrieving this information now. But let's say I could ask the exact same thing after 10 years, and I could ask about how was my Christmas of 2024, and possibly that by that time I would have completely forgotten about it. And MindbookLM will be the one where I could just recall that information. And the next would be how was my day today, and and then and it can recall us the exact moment. But again, as I said, ideally this won't be how you would be interacting with MindbookLM. Basically, you will be writing some of your notes or your thoughts at one point of time, and then you would be interacting with them, let's say, a certain period after that. So this demo is just to show how we use MindbookLM. And again, the thing is, I can ask this exact question, let's say, at the end of the month, and like I could ask something like, "How was my day on the 6th of January?" And then it would be basically recalling that entire day for me. This is pretty cool to have. And let's ask something else about our idea. Any idea that I had for hypermode hackathon? Let's hypothetically assume that I just had this idea at a random moment and now I forgot about it. So, and it will be able to recall us that idea. Now, what's going on in the background is basically we're storing all of this information in the graph database as a knowledge graph. I'm using Neo4j. So this will be how our information will be saved. And so we can see that on Monday, we had taken three notes, and one was about the planning to participate in Hypermode Hackathon. Next was about the day in general. And the third one about our Christmas of 2024. Now, each note will be stored in the context and the embedding so that we could do similarity searching. Um, so what's happening is basically when the user asks a question, we are doing a similarity searching and then finding all these similar notes and then passing that information to our assistant, and then assistant will be replying back to the user. Now, there is an important thing here that all these notes will have a temporal hierarchy at the top of it. Like all these notes are taken at the 6th January of 2025. And this temporal hierarchy is pretty much very important because a lot of times user might not ask questions that need similarity searching. Like let's say you're at the end of the month and you want to have the flashback of your entire month, right? And that scenario, you could just ask MindbookLM that how was my January of 2025? And in that scenario, the similarity searching is not the best way we should be going forward. So what we need to do is basically we need to come down to January of 2025. We need to match this temporal information and then pick out all the notes that we have taken in this month and pass that to the assistant, right? So The temporal hierarchical structure helps us to maintain as well as scale the knowledge graph of our nodes. The next thing is that these nodes have no relation to each other uh, because they aren't related. One is about the planning for the hackathon, next one is about my day in general, and third one is about my memory of the Christmas. Right? But when these nodes are actually related with each other, they will have a relationship as well. Like for an instant, I could come back into the inject mode and I could write something about MindbookLM is your personal AI assistant that remembers all the that remembers your day, your notes, or your memories, so that you can uh, rephrase shift them at any time. It's like your digital twin that does not forget. So I could pass in this information, and, and now if we look at the knowledge graph, we would see that these two nodes are related to each other, and there is a related to relationship between them. And one is about what MindbookLM is, and the next one is about participating in the hackathon, and the project is MindbookLM itself. So what this enables us is when the user asks any information about what MindbookLM is, we will not only be picking up this note which describes what it is actually, but also we will be picking up this note which describes uh, the background of it, like it was something for the hackathon, right? And that gives better context for the assistant to answer that question of the user. So this is pretty much what's going on in the background, and thank you.